Is it a given in your mind that he's back with you next year? Or do you guys have a lot of thinking to do there?
Oh, I think that's yeah. I mean, in my mind, absolutely. But I think ultimately he's going to, decide that.
There was lots of composure at times. Douglas had a personal foul at the end of the first half. Boy's situation toward the end of the game. What do you think was there? Were they feeling a little more pressure? What do you think was kind of causing some of those breakdowns there?
I don't know, but we that is unacceptable. I've got a much higher standard for our players than to do silly things like that. I mean, we've had a guy get ejected twice. I don't think I've ever seen that in my career. And we got to be much more mentally tough. Anytime our guys commit personal fouls, I take that very personally, because I think that's always a reflection of myself and the standards that we set for these players. And we got to be better, and we got to learn from that, because that is unacceptable.
All right, so there you have it, head coach Matt LaFleur, and a lot of what you guys were just talking about, he echoed there, but the undisciplined plays, I mean, that does stem from the head coach. What could he do differently to try and get his team a little bit more disciplined, a little bit more engaged in a situation like this where they needed to win that game?
Well, it is something that kind of starts in the offseason. That's usually something you get on guys right away from OTAs, and you use last year's mistakes as a teaching moment, right? He does have some young football players on his team, again, who are learning how to deal with the emotions of the football game overall. But yeah, that's one where, hey, daily practice, showing videos on the screen, you hopefully that gets through to guys to go, wait, why are we doing this? Why are we shooting ourselves in the foot? But there was a lot of issues with Green Bay this year. I don't want to say they were dysfunctional, but there was a lot of... Something was missing, There was something missing all year long, and it can go back into the offseason, and then we can get into, the season and Rodgers and some of the stuff he dealt with, and just the bad start to the year. They can never seem to get their feet underneath them and kind of put the string together a really consistent, good streak of playing good football. I know they've won a few games here lately, but I didn't look at it and go, oh, wow, they're hitting on all cylinders. We'll see where it goes. They still got a good football team. I do think Rodgers will be back next year, and Green Bay will be in the mix in the NFC.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.